So this is a 55-inch 4K TV from TCL, Class 6 series. This one comes with Google TV. You can also get it with Roku, so it's a different version. So this one is Google TV, like I said. So just kind of look at the TV itself. It has very thin edges on it, as you can see on the top and sides. Bottom's a little bit thicker. Overall looks really nice. Can't see it from there, but as far as the thickness goes, it is on the thick side compared to some other TVs in this same range, but not a big deal by any means at all. So before we got this TV, we had another TV from one of the bigger brands for years and years at this house and at our previous house. Looked at that thing day after day after day. So going from that to this, I could very quickly tell what the differences were. So the first thing that I noticed was the clarity and how vibrant this picture is on this TV. So it might be hard to tell in the video, but this TV really pops as far as how vibrant it is. So on our previous TV and the other TVs that we've had in the past, we've always had to go online, look for better picture settings that other people have found, go in and fine tune it. Whereas on this TV, we literally just used one of the default settings and it's looked great. And it's looked so good that we've decided it's not even worth bothering trying to tune it any further. So if you do want to change the settings, so the defaults, you just hit the settings button on the remote. So this is the remote that it comes with here. You just go over to picture, and then you just have picture mode, and then you just have a handful of settings here, and you kind of jump between them. So I'm talking about how vibrant this is, and we actually have our set on low power. So you can actually go to like smart HDR, and it will be even more vibrant, but that's probably overkill for us. So we have our set on low power, that's what we like. You can apply that to just a single input, or you can do all inputs at the same time. So for example, if you want to play your Xbox and you want to have that set to the game picture mode, and you want your main TV set to something different, or you want it set to sports or whatever, you can do that, have them all set differently, so when you jump between your inputs, it just changes automatically. We just changed ours to all the same. And there's actually a vivid mode as well, forgot about that. But we have ours set on low power, and that's what we like. So going back to home here, so just another setting that I'll just point out, so in the upper right corner there, so if you go over there, it's more or less a screensaver. And this is kind of a nice way to just kind of have it in the background. So if you just kind of want to have pictures in the background, you can set it here. You can actually cycle through them with your remote if you want to as well. So just a lot of really high quality pictures to look at, and it'll show you the time as well. So going back to home, another thing to point out, as you can see, just me jumping back and forth like that, is how responsive this remote is that comes with it and the system, so the software that's running. So just jumping between the apps like this and going back to home, it's just really, really fast. And that's something that you don't see on a lot of smart TVs like this. You don't see that responsiveness. And usually as a result, you have to get something else like a Roku or something, and that's actually what we're using, but we don't really need it. So we could get rid of that if we wanted to, but right now we just have that Roku set up on a different input, so we can just hit the inputs, go over to our Roku, jumps over really quickly just like that. But again, because it's so fast, you could just use the apps that are already built into the TV itself and use it that way instead. This does have Google TV, like I said. We've never used Google TV, and we probably won't, so I'm not going to jump into that, but it can be voice controlled. And like I said, this remote is kind of all set up for Google, so it's got some buttons that relate to Google TV. Again, I'm not going to dive into that because that's not something that we do. But really, just to kind of recap here, or just kind of end this, TCL is a brand I was not familiar with. My wife was not familiar with it. I had heard of TCL in the past, but I'd always thought that they were just kind of a budget brand or just one of those lower quality brands. I did not realize that that was not the case, and I don't know why, but they definitely compete with the big boys, and it was definitely worth getting this TV. I was very surprised. For us, it was kind of a risk going in this direction versus some of the other TVs that we've gotten in the past. Could not be happier with it. The picture is much, much better. Every time I walk into the room, from the back of the room here, I keep saying to my wife, I cannot believe how crisp that looks or how bright it is. And that's just something, like I said, going from the TV that we've had for years, which was a very nice TV, to this, I can just see that difference night and day. Definitely great. Happy with it overall.